I welcome you to this session, right, where we will look into the mobile app capabilities, that Creator offers, right? So building mobile application is pretty much like, building web application as well. So you have the data layer where all the data will get stored, and then you have something called the UI layer, what your end user will see, and in the middle is the logic layer, which will basically tell how the data is supposed to go sit, and what are the UI controls. And the end product is what you see on your right? So it's like data layer, logic layer, UI layer, and the final product. But Creator cuts right into this process, right? It's just, you just replace the whole thing, and what you build for web, you get for mobile instantly, right? So how this is possible is that mobile app aspects, are so deeply incorporated into the Creator Builder. So, and all these capabilities that let you customize your application for mobile devices, we call it as a mobile app creator, right? What this essentially means is that for building a mobile application, for maintaining it, for securing it, for scaling, for even distributing it to your users, the extra effort that you're going to put is zero. Okay, so, and this is the Zoho promise. So what you build once for web, you get instantly optimized for a tablet, for an iPhone, for an Android device, right? The platform doesn't matter, it's the type of form factor, right? If it's a tablet or a phone, that doesn't matter, right? You get the app instantly, right? So how you do this is go to your App Store and Play Store and download applications. But before that, so we have something called a user and a customer. So these are the two types of users that will be there in any business application, right? So what's a user is, if you're building an application, people, yourself and those in your organization, you'll call them the users. Okay, these are the people internal to your business, right? And those whom you are external to your organization, but who will also participate in the application process, are your customers. So, and then you have two dominant platforms in the market for mobile devices, which is Android and Apple. So if you're going to be building applications, you need for them to work on both these platforms, right? So users, customers, Android and iOS, right? So both these users are served using these two apps called Zoho Creator, and the other one is the customer portal of Zoho Creator. But just a summary of it is like, so you need to give a dedicated access to your customers, to your application, and that you do via the customer portal app, and dedicated access to your users that you do using the Zoho Creator application, right? And both of these are available on App Store and Play Store. Just download them, try it out. When you build an application, and if you're using it on mobile, what truly matters is that you're able to leverage a native functionality. Yeah, so by definition, we mean by leveraging native functionalities is your application is able to talk to the hardware of your device, right? So you have a camera, you have a microphone, you have like a capturing the location thing, you have gestures, left swipe, right swipe, long press, right? All these things. So if your application is able to enable your users in performing these gestures, then it's a native application. Otherwise, it's not, right? So, and that's what you get with Creator, right? So you build an application for web, and you can actually ensure, right, you get all the native capabilities off the bat. All you have to do is just customize it to tell what to happen when, right? I have an application that I've built for a business called Zilker Auto Care, right? So what they are is like they're based out of Pleasanton. I mean, this is just an example. They're based out of Pleasanton, and they have like a good customer base going, and customers can pick up their car for like a service. They also have something like an emergency service, so they're somewhere driving in town, something happens, and they can just open our app and submit a request, right? So I'm just going to show you the components that I built and access them on mobile. So right, like I said, you have on one side, you have people who will be raising requests, right? So these are the customers on the right, and technicians and mechanics who will eventually be addressing these requests will be the users. So in this context, you have users on the left, you have the customers on the right, right? So I've just installed the Zoho Creator and the customer portal applications on this device. And so here is what it looks like. So I have like a list report for all mechanics, the customer database, modules request, services, emergency service requests, and such. I'll just show you how this application actually looks in Creator. So this is what it looks on web, right? And this is how it looks on phone, the same set, right? But it's just that it's optimized automatically to fit the form factor. Now let's take a look at few customizations that you can enable on forms. Like I talked about native capabilities, so I'm going to use them right now. I have like the QR code and barcode on one screen, right? So what I'm going to do is just scan it, right? The minute I scan it, I get something like this, right? So since the camera is automatically capable of detecting the text behind the code. So and then I set this. So it's basically like instead of every time a technician going and entering information of the vehicle, you could just issue a barcode or a QR code to your customers, and every time a technician visits, they can just scan it. Other stuff that you can see is that you see the last field called inspection notes. So I have the ability to like take a picture. So I can actually extend this capability, right? So we all know about image annotation. So let me just go quickly enable that for this particular field. So I'm going to edit my application. So I'm going to go to the service request module. I'm going to open the form builder. Sure you guys have seen this already. So I have an image field in the inspection subform. And okay, do you see this? Camera for mobile options. So this basically dictates, these are the settings that are involved in customizing the mobile experience for the image field. So here I can, so when I say take photo and I have allow switch to camera enabled, so when I come back to this, I can basically keep flipping. So this is me and this is you, right? So so that's one of them. The other things are I can enable a timer, right? So I can just take a photo and automatically like set it to the image field after a few seconds. You can change which camera to open by default, whether the primary or the secondary. And then this is actually cool. So you can submit your form after capturing the image, right? And also, so there is another thing called get input before the form is displayed. So I'm going to enable that, and I'm going to show you the combination of these two. I've made and changed the application, but all I need to do is just pull to refresh, and I'm going to access the service request form again. Right, so it's automatic. I didn't do anything. I just access the form, and automatically the camera is launched. And then I can just say, I take a picture, and I say use photo, and it's automatically set. I can submit the form. So other two, in addition to the camera, so you also have like audio and video fields, two other special types of fields that you can access. Right, so I had enabled to scan it. So you have the audio field where I can tap to record, right? And then same thing goes for the video field. So you will basically access your microphones and camera to take media inputs. Okay, so this is at the form level. So at the field level, you can actually customize a few controls that will dictate the experience of how your mobile application will behave. So I told you about image annotation. I was talking about it. So let me just go for the same image field. I have another property called image annotation. So I'm going to enable it. I'll just make sure it's saved. Same service request module. I'm going to go inspection node and add this thing. So once I take a picture, so once I say use photo, once I confirm that this is a picture I want to take, I can actually do a lot of stuff. So I can insert shapes, say of red color. So the gentleman is looking nice. Some text to go with. I can draw lines of different colors. So basically anything to let annotate the image, right? So coming back to that, so if you take like a picture, you can actually annotate it saying like here are the scratches that need to be fixed. So we saw about these three things: scanning QR code barcodes, taking pictures, record audio and video. If you're using a name field, an email or a phone or address field, you can actually automatically tap on it, and it'll actually give you the option of picking that information from the contacts in your device. There's also a signature field, so you'll be able to just draw a signature on your phone. And then somebody here asked about location, right? So yeah, I actually have built a form, and now I'm just going to show you the customer portal application. So this particular module I've built where a customer has something called an add emergency pickup form for access, and what it basically does is it's like location enabled, and I can just say if you see at the top the location icon automatically comes because I've enabled. So if I just say something like accident, and like it automatically knows who I am based on the login, and I just submit it, right? So, and with this nifty little thing, we'll move into what you can do in terms of reports. So I'm going to switch back to the application. So I just submitted an emergency pickup request. Okay, I'm going to come back to the user application. I'm going to just refresh it. There's a map report that I've built called emergency pickups. Now it says that, okay, it asks me permission. Yes. So the data form that I just submitted, so it's already there. The blue pin, okay. The red is, where the shop is. So there are actually quite a few requests around, and I was just submitting requests before coming meeting you guys. So, and the thing is, so when you tap on it, it'll actually tell you the details, say, okay, there's an accident that has happened at this particular location. And what I can do is I can do get direction, right? So I can basically, say, open Google Maps, right? And it'll automatically tell me like how to navigate from this part to that. Yeah, there is one on the form. You can actually set that for your form. So let's just say that, you don't want people to be raising emergency pickup requests from just about anywhere. So I'm just gonna go to that form. Okay, and so in form properties you have something called enable geofence, right? So it just says that, okay, you're setting a geofence. So I basically set an address, and I set like the radius around which this form should be accessible. So we saw navigation from map reports. So push notification is another thing. So if you're accessing a report, you can actually enable push notifications from that. Whenever a record is added, notify me. Just go to the all service requests, and if you see, I've already enabled notifications. So I've said like, okay, I'm going to disable it, but then just enable it again. So every time a record is added in this form, right, it's going to send me a push notification. So that, and then so two other things about layouts and actions in reports is that we talked about gestures. So I have actually set up a gesture that swipe right on this record, something called complete request that comes up, right? So I can basically like, so this acts like a button, so I can just tap on it and it will do something for me. So basically things like closing a request or changing the status on something can be done pretty quickly. So that's for reports. Same thing for offline. Once you access a form on your device, when you go offline, the form is already cached. So you can access, submit data. So once your app is back online, data will automatically sync. And from reports, you can actually save data offline. So every time you can just see whatever the records were at the instant that you saved it. And about apps section. So you've already seen about what sections are. So when you're talking about phone and tablet, you can actually customize. If you want to hide a section, you want to show a section, you want to rename a section, you can do these things for mobile. Same thing about app themes is that you can basically change the way the sections in your application are available. If you want to show it from bottom, you want to show it from the left, you want it to slide from the bottom, slide from the side, and like a color theme to it. So that's about app themes and sections. So there is one thing about mobile applications that's crucially important is that it's about rebranding, right? So building a mobile application is great, but you want to be able to, put your brand onto your users' mobile devices, right? So that's something we call as rebranding, and that too is available here. So basically what you do is you build an application with Creator, and you're going to, at the end, distribute. But in the middle is something called code signing it. So the two leading platforms, iOS and Android, you basically sign up with them for a program, you get certificates with them, you tie those certificates to your mobile application, and then you can just deploy them, right? The certificates are basically like cryptographic keys, which will let both, say, Apple or like Google Play Store in knowing that this application is genuine, you are genuine, right? Your apps are getting installed on your user's device. It again knows that it's from a genuine distributor, right? So, and then again, since we saw that there are two different types of business users, one is a user, one is a customer, and we have two platforms, so you can do distribution for all four of them, right? So you can, if you have, employees using an iOS device, employees using an Android device, you have customers using an iOS device, customers using an Android device, So you can basically download your creator application as a mobile application and you can distribute it to them. So we say distribution again, but how do you eventually do it? So that's, like I said, you need to sign up with Apple. So when you're distributing to your employees, Apple insists that you got to sign up to the Apple Enterprise Developer Program. And then what you need to do is you need to set up an MDM, which is like mobile device management, which will let you dictate, what apps are to be installed on your, employees' devices and all that. The same thing goes for Android, but Android also enables you in just simply sharing the, APK file to your users. So that's about MDM, right? So you can basically control what your smartphones, tablets, and laptops of your employees, the apps that are available on them. So this is what I think like everybody will love. You build a mobile application and you put it to the world across. You want to put it on App Store, you want to put it on Play Store. It gives you the chance to monetize your application. It gives you a chance to permanent digital footprint. But so if you're going to be putting on App Store and Play Store, this can be done only for the customer application. I'll just show you quickly. So, and quick notes about how you can extend further. It's like you have mobile SDK. What it means is that you can just putting your brand's icon on your mobile application is not enough. You want to customize the UI further. So that you're going to do by using SDK. And so this is what will something look like. So the sections, this thing you can actually give beautiful icons, things you can actually customize the user experience further. The other stuff is that Zoho Creator applications will always remain in touch with the platform's capabilities. So iOS 13 recently brought capabilities such as dark mode and scribble, multi-window support for iPads and all that. So anything that iOS and Android are going to come up with, all compatible features, we'll continuously work towards enabling this on your mobile devices. And all you need to do is like if you have just, access the Zoho Creator application, or if you have rebranded it, to make use of these, you just need to recode sign it. And then this is another thing that we've worked towards. So about progressive web applications. So again, the applications you build using Creator are right off the bat PWA compatible. What this means is that your users don't need to actually install your applications on their devices. They can simply log into the web browsers and access from the web browser your app, but it'll behave like a native application. The look and feel will be that of a native application. You will have gesture support, you have push notification support, you will have like offline support, right? So that's something also that we've just introduced. So yeah, as a summary, you have native capabilities, you have phone and tablet customization, you can rebrand them, you can further extend rebranded applications using SDK UI Kit, and your apps are PWA compatible.